The Game Awards 2024 went down recently, and we've got a lot of big announcements from the show. I'm going to be going over what I felt was most hype and how Capcom absolutely cooked here. Shoutouts to Geoff Keighley, shoutouts to Capcom for sharing some of these big announcements for us. I'm going to go over some of the other things from the show. Of course, let me know in the comment section what your favorite games of the show was. I will be going through and watching and looking and all that, so I'm very excited to get into this. But before we do, what's good everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to the video. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, and click that notification bell to get my videos first. Let's go ahead and jump right into it here because we've got a big one. Hideki Kamiya is back. Clover Studio is back with a new name, and Okami is back with a sequel, the big sequel that we've been waiting for. No shots at Okami then, but you know, that's something a little bit different. The big console game, and man, I am excited to give you guys some more information on this huge announcement from the Game Awards 2024. So, Okami sequel announced, directed by the one and only Hideki Kamiya. Developed by Hideki Kamiya's newly founded studio Clovers, which is a nice play on the old Clover studio that made hits like Beautiful Joe and Okami, for example. So very good there. So Capcom has announced the tentatively titled Okami sequel. It is developed by Clovers, a new studio founded by original Okami director Hideki Kamiya, who will also direct the sequel alongside M2 and Machine Head Works. And that's the extra information that was not revealed at the show. So some other development co-partners there. Platforms and a release date were not announced because, you know, it's going to be on the Nintendo Switch 2 alongside probably PlayStation, Xbox, PC, or whatever the case is. So, about Okami sequel, the Okami sequel project is underway. Okami is a game critically acclaimed for its unique world, heartwarming story, and exciting adventures. Now, a new adventure in the same vein as Okami has been set in motion. Hideki Kamiya, director of the original Okami, will be the director of this project, which is being co-developed between studios that include various staff members of the original Okami, M2 Inc., Machine Head Works Inc., and Clovers Inc., which Hideki Kamiya is a member of. What will the new adventures of Amaterasu and company be like? It will be some time before we greet you again, but we really hope you look forward to this project. So it is a ways out at this point. So what is Okami? Life in the World Revives. Originally released in 2006 and set in a Japanese-style world, take on the role of Amaterasu and embark on an adventure to bring back life in this action-adventure game. Enjoy the action and character development while overcoming difficulties through this unique game system, the Celestial Brush. Featuring a unique world, a heartwarming story, and many other game elements, Okami continues to be loved by fans all over the world, even more than 10 years after its original release. Now, it's been almost 20 years since Okami. Yeah, this is a very cool announcement, very shocking and surprising. We all felt, where was Hideki Kamiya gonna go after he decided to leave Platinum Games, and we didn't know where he was going. I think he had like a non-compete type of thing, so he had to sit out for a while, and I think while he was waiting, he was putting together in motion what his next plans were going to be, and this is it. We've all been wanting an Okami big sequel, a huge new game in the series now for quite some time, and we're finally getting it. I think that Capcom finally saw, one, the opportunity with Hideki Kamiya to get this done, because obviously it's really early in this, but also, two, people actually showed up for Okami. Yes, the original sales were bad across the PlayStation 2. They're actually terrible across the PlayStation 2. And then the Nintendo Wii came out and things got a little bit better for it. A port came out and it did okay on there. But really where Capcom saw that this franchise can be something is the PlayStation, Xbox, and the Nintendo Switch releases. The Okami HD collection over the course of years has steadily and slowly sold and built its way up to be something to where it would be worth the investment. So if it wasn't for all those people who bought it on the PlayStation 3, who bought it on the PS4, who bought it on the Switch or Xbox or PC or wherever you played the Okami HD, I think that's really what convinced them, along with the opportunity with Hideki Kamiya and having him have his own company along with some of the other people that originally developed the game, is what made this all come together. And it came together so beautifully at the Game Awards. So I'm very excited for this. Good announcement. Yes, no gameplay, nothing big that we can see there, but we know what Okami is. We know it's going to be something solid. We know the people behind the game are going to put their all in it. So yes, I'm not like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing ever, because we don't have a release date. We didn't get a lot of solid gameplay or anything. But I still think that it's a fantastic announcement because it's, oh, something's coming back that's been gone for 20 years. Something is coming back with the original developers, Hideki Kamiya. We know his track record, so that's what makes this exciting, at least at first. Despite there not being a release date, obviously still far off and everything. So very good announcement. Let me know in the chat if you love Okami. Make sure you type in Okami is hype. Type that in. Let me know what you love about Okami in the comment section. Now let's move on to another super banger. The SB from Capcom. Onimusha, Way of the Sword. Onimusha is back, and I can only think about my good buddy. I finished the video game. I watched his massive retrospective on the Onimusha franchise. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend it. It's one of the best documentary slash retrospectives you have ever seen, or that you will ever see. Trust me, it is incredible. We had a chat on Twitter about this because I thought about him as soon as I saw this. And yes, Onimusha is back. It's back and it looks better than ever. Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. Well, it's actually only PS5, only Xbox Series and PC, and it's due out in 2026. So let's just say in a year, because we're already going to be in 2025. So in a year, we'll probably hear more about this game later. And you know how Capcom does it. Once they actually show a game, they won't stop showing it until like they completely spoil everything. So let's talk about this here. Onimusha, Way of the Sword. So on the About page, they say this game is a fight through bloodbaths of intense swordplay action. Explore the historic Japanese capital of Edo-era Kyoto, twisted by malevolent clouds of malice. With every stage cloaked in mystery, danger, and intrigue. Battle against monstrosities from the underworld known as Genma in a tale of dark fantasy. Follow the tale of a samurai who wields the Oni Gauntlet, a mystical artifact that grants its bearer the power to slay Genma. Through gritty, blood-soaked brawls, he searches for his reason to fight. What fate awaits at the end of his path. Now let's talk a little bit more about the Onimusha series. So debuting back in 2001, the first game of the Onimusha series tells the story of a young warrior during a time of widespread war in feudal Japan. Acquiring the power of the Oni, he becomes the Onimusha and battles against the evil Genma that are attempting to conquer the world. The game's Isen critical counter mechanic and satisfying swordplay action became defining pillars of the series, with people and events inspired by real-life history cast into its eerie dark fantasy setting. The trials and fates of the characters painted a unique and engrossing tale that drew widespread acclaim. Building on that success, the series has gone on to spawn numerous hit titles and even an original Netflix animation. To date, the Onimusha series has sold over 8.7 million units worldwide. So very good here to see this back. Once again, I did watch my good buddy. I finished the video game and his retrospective, and I was blown away by how much Onimusha actually was. Like, I played the games rented and all that back then, but I didn't know the history behind it, the money that Capcom put into it, what happened with it, and why it went away. It just kind of went away, and I didn't know why. So I'll have that retrospective link for you guys. You guys can check it out. It's long, but it's super good, and I highly recommend checking it out. Trust me, if you watch that retrospective, you don't know anything about Onimusha, or let's say you've never played the games or whatever, you watch that retrospective, you'll want to get into it. I know I'm excited to get into it, and I wasn't the biggest Onimusha fan back in the day. I just played the games and thought, okay, yeah, it's cool. It's a sword game, samurai, fun. But I didn't know all of the other stuff surrounding it. So I am absolutely hyped to see Onimusha come back. So Capcom, giving the fans what they want, bringing back the classics, Okami, now Onimusha. This was perfect. A+ from Capcom at the event here. But if you love Onimusha and you know that this game is going to be lit, make sure you type in Oni in the comment section below to let me know that we got the Onimusha fans in the house for this one. Now let's go ahead and move on to the next topic here, guys, and that is a brand new Sega Sonic game announcement. Yes, we are back. The hits keep on coming here, guys. Sega has announced Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. PlayStation, Xbox, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC via Steam, Epic Game Store. No release date was announced. And here's the thing though, guys. We just need to see this have cross play. I need to see it to where anyone can play. If they do that, this is going to have a huge community to play the game. People really love Sonic Racing Transformed and all that. Maybe the technology wasn't quite up to snuff for what they were trying to do, but now we have way more powerful systems. We've got portable systems and portable PCs and all different types of stuff. So I think this game can definitely be a good redo, but at the same time be better than what we got before. And it's always good to have something in terms of a high quality kart racer that is not Mario Kart, right? Like there's really only Mario Kart and like maybe what else? People don't really make kart racers like that anymore. We have the CTR, the Crash Racing game, but that's kind of died out too as well. So to get another AAA or big style racing game with mascots like Sonic is definitely a good thing. And I hope that this game comes out next year. We don't know when Mario Kart's coming out, but I don't care. I would like to have this game and Mario Kart. We need some great high-end kart racers or racing games with the mascots, and this is it because it has like different types of like weapons and stuff like that. It's not just racing, it's also combat as well, so it's very fun. If it was just racing, I probably wouldn't like it as much. So the combat, but cross world, so that gives you an idea. You're probably going to be jumping different dimensions and different worlds in order to race on different things as well, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty crazy overall. So if you're excited about your boy Sonic coming back to the racing world, make sure you type in the blue blur, or you can type in Sonic in the comment section. Let me know what Sonic fans are hyped about. Now, let's get into one of the sneakily best announcements of the show, and I want to talk about it, and that is Ninja Gaiden is back as well. What is going on here? Koei Tecmo, Sega, everyone bringing out, Capcom bringing out the classics for an old guy like myself who loves these games. Ninja Gaiden Rage Bound, old school .emu, bringing it back here. Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, everything. And yes, it is from the Blasphemous developers. It has that art style. Somebody said that, and I was like, huh? Blasphemous? I was like, oh, wait a minute, yeah, the art style kind of is like that. So publisher.emu and developer The Game Kitchen, in cooperation with Koei Tecmo and Team Ninja, have announced side-scrolling action and adventure Ninja Gaiden Ragebound for everything like I talked about there. It's coming summer 2025. So this is a new twist to the side-scrolling Ninja Gaiden experience. From the acclaimed team behind Blasphemous, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound successfully unites the classic lore and gameplay of the Tecmo developed, now Koei Tecmo at this point, Ninja Gaiden series from the 8-bit era with the depth and intensity of modern 3D entries. The best of both eras come together to create an epic and thrilling adventure, and I think that this is a really good idea. I'll get to that at the end, so make sure you stay tuned. This is a fantastic idea for Ninja Gaiden, because we were just talking about what Ninja Gaiden needs to do to come back on one of my live streams recently. It says, dive into the untold chapter of the Ninja Gaiden saga. Our story begins when Ryu Hayabusa journeys to America to honor his father's will. While he is away, the barrier between the human and demon world suddenly shatters, unleashing a terrifying army upon the Hayabusa village, which now faces an unprecedented threat in Ryu's absence. To stand against this new threat, Kenji Mozu, a young ninja from the Hayabusa village, rises to the challenge. Old school gameplay with a brand new polish. Combining old school feeling with modern precision, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound retains the pick up and play action of the classic titles while introducing new layers of depth. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound features impeccable mechanics that are easy to learn but hard to truly master, inviting players to challenge the limit of their player skills to satisfy the fans of the Ninja Gaiden series. A spectacular pixel art showdown. I love that. Step into the reimagined version of the classic Ninja Gaiden universe, brought to life through stunning, meticulously crafted visuals. Every enemy is recreated with a level of detail that was once impossible. The brutal, nostalgia-filled aesthetic of Ninja Gaiden Ragebound pays homage to the past while pushing the boundaries of modern pixel art, making every battle a feast for the eyes. Now, I talked about this, how Ninja Gaiden should come back in some way, and how can they get it done? They're not making as much money with the most recent Ninja Gaiden games. They've been flopping left and right, but this is the right call. Blasphemous, a great game, sells good enough for what it is. Metroidvania style of game. That art style is very good. It looks great, and Ninja Gaiden started with the old school 8-bit. That's what it was. So you can get the old school fans back with this. You can get the new fans that like the modern pixel art type of games, and you can put that together to create something that fans and new people will be like, okay, I'll try this out. This is genius when it comes to Koei Tecmo. And I didn't know how they're going to bring back Ninja Gaiden, but this is a great start. So I really like what they've done here, and I'm very excited to play Ninja Gaiden Ragebound coming summer 2025 to everything here. So if you're a big Ninja Gaiden fan like myself, or if you're excited to play Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, make sure you type Ninja Gaiden is back in the comment section. Love to hear my Ninja Gaiden fans and what they're talking about here. So what I want to do at the end here is I want to give the show a grade. There were far more games announced that I didn't get to, like the Last Guardian and Ico developer. He has a brand new game that's coming. We also had an intergalactic announcement from Naughty Dog, their brand new IP that looks really cool. There were a number of games, a brand new Elden Ring universe co-op multiplayer experience. There was a lot of stuff here, but I wanted to get into the grade for the show and what I felt overall about the announcement. So I would say that this is probably the best Game Awards show, maybe even ever. I can't recall any other Game Awards that had this many surprise announcements, bringing back franchises that people have wanted for decades at this point. Seeing stuff like Okami come back, seeing Onimusha come back, seeing the fact that the Last Guardian developer, Ico developer, he's got a game coming back, seeing the fact that we got Sonic Racing, that's coming back, Ninja Gaiden is coming back. This was truly a show not only for new fans that like the new big games, but also for fans who like the old school stuff and maybe the stuff from the 6th gen and even before that. I think that it was a show that did its best, despite being way too long overall and some issues. It did its best to address some of the controversies of the show and even poked fun at themselves with the two people that were sitting there and clowning them, the Muppets and all of that. So I feel that they did a really good job. Keighley and his team did a good job putting together a nice show that had good announcements, that had surprises, that had somewhat pacing issue, maybe a bit too much musical stuff overall, but I think that it was solid. I thought that it was a very good show. I wouldn't have a problem with somebody giving it an A if they felt that it was an A show. I think that if you're talking about the Game Awards, maybe grading on a curve might be the best thing because of how big the show is and how much money it takes to run and everything. They have to have so much of the gacha game, anime stuff that all kind of blends together and looks the same. That dragged the show down a little bit. But I will say, I think it's a solid B/B+. Once again, if you give it an A, I don't have a problem with that. But I want to know what you guys think. What would be your score, your overall score for the Game Awards? What were your favorite announcements? What did you think was great about the show? And how do you feel things are going to head into next year in 2025 with the game announcements that were revealed? What do you think the Game Awards is going to be like? I think that it was pretty cool. It was great to see the awards. Astrobot won a lot of awards, won Game of the Year. Also, Metaphor Refantasio won 3 different awards, so that was pretty cool too. But a lot of the awards actually went exactly how I felt. I was able to predict many of them. I got a lot of them right. But yeah, it was a good show overall. I thought the awards were good, the speeches were good. No more please wrap it up and any of that, you know. So I felt overall Keighley did a good job. So yeah, I'd give it a B+. I thought it was a good show, and if you gave it an A, I wouldn't have a problem with that either. But let me know what your score is in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out my other content right here on screen. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.